Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Glitchcat, aka Soof, and today I'm a little sunburnt, so please excuse any sunburnt patches on my face or anywhere else. I'm a little bit sunburnt because I am ginger and I went to the beach. So excuse me and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over layouts in our drawings and our sketchbooks, and today we're making a brand new spread together. This is going to be a Minecraft inspired spread. I'm going to be drawing what mood blooms would look like in real life. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share my tips on how I create my layouts and some tips on how you guys construct your layouts as well, if you're a little bit stuck on where to put things or what to focus on. Now, I have been playing a lot of Minecraft recently. If you haven't seen on my channel, there are a couple of videos up of me doing some building and a world tour, so that's all up. But mostly I've been in a big Minecraft mood, so I wanted to make something Minecraft inspired. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole thinking about mobs and mobs that have never existed, and I ended on the moo bloom. Now, I'm not sure if you remember the mob vote and our moo bloom, but the glow squid is one of the options that we got for that mob vote. We had the option between a moo bloom and a glow squid, and probably something else that I can't remember. But the glow squid won. We don't have moo blooms anymore, so today we're drawing the elusive moo bloom. So point one is find your subject. After you've found your subject, you need time to think about what you want on your page, and this can be done in two ways. You can either look for references, which is what I've done. I've gone on Pinterest and I've looked for some baby cow references just to base what kind of poses I wanted to be on the page. I wanted something frolicky. Or you can create loose sketches. Now, this is something I commonly do when I'm creating original character art or pages of things that I already know and I'm confident in drawing. If you're creating loose sketches, I usually get a smaller piece of paper and I sketch loosely some different poses on that piece of paper. Then you want to position your sketches and references appropriately around the page that you're working on. I like to usually have two main subjects, usually 1 to 2 main subjects that draw the eye, and this is something that I use in all of my pieces. After that, you can then use smaller subjects to fill in the extra spaces. So in this one here, we've got 2 main cows as our subjects and a smaller cow in the bottom left hand corner as another subject piece. That way when people are watching, they're going to be looking at the main pieces, and then afterwards they'll look at the smaller cow or the other thing to focus on, which in this case is going to be our writing. So you always want 1 to 2 main subjects and then extra bits around the page that draw the eye afterwards. I like to fill in my spaces with text or smaller drawings or items that are related to characters or animals, for example. I don't usually record my sketching process because I like to sketch hunched over as close to the book as possible, like this. But this time I actually felt like improving my posture, and because it is a sketchbook layout focused video, I took a step back and actually drew upright for once, so you guys get to see a little bit of my sketching process. As you can see, I don't really do laying out shapes. I do occasionally, but mostly I will just put things on a page. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know I love sticking to colour, so I like to use coloured pencils for my sketches. However, if you do this, make sure that the coloured pencil you're using as a sketch isn't the same colour that you're going to be laying on top later. So here I'm using a pink pencil and putting yellow on top, so I don't have to worry about accidentally colouring in, because if you put pink on top of pink, it will just go invisible or close to invisible, and it's going to be incredibly hard for you to see your details. So if you're creating something that's red, use a blue pencil underneath. If you're creating something colder, use a red pencil underneath. Now, there are always different ways to place colour on the page. You can use all the same colour, or you can use opposing colours. There are lots of colour palettes that you can look at online as well. There's a really good website called Coolers that automatically generates colours, and they'll put together some really pretty palettes for you to look at and ways that you can put that on your sketchbook pages as well. This palette is all yellows, oranges, whites, but I really wanted to add an allium cow because that is my boyfriend's favourite Minecraft flower, and so I wanted to include that in the page because my favourite flower is on there as well. My favourite flower is daisies, so to have us both on the same page I just thought it was really cute. So here the main page is going to be warm colours with a little bit of purple and a tiny little smidgen of green for the stems. Now, when the mob vote happened, I actually never voted, unfortunately, but I do remember there was a lot of discourse about it online. I am sad that the moo blooms didn't make it. I don't hate the glow squids, and I do think they bring some interesting things to the game, like glowing signs and the little glowing item frames as well. Those are really cool for decorations, but would I keep a enclosure or a tank full of glow squids? Not really, unless I'm building an aquarium. But would I build an entire thing dedicated to Moo Blooms? Yes. So that's where my vote would have lied personally if I had voted. Unfortunately, I didn't because I was quite young at the time. However, I'm not sure it would have really made much of a difference considering the amount of people that voted for glow squids at the time. The mob vote is pretty much gone now, so we don't need to fight over mobs anymore. And I do love all the recent updates that have been coming out with Mojang. I love the autumnal colour palette that's just been released with the dappled forest. I think it's cool. It's so cute. I love all the different blocks we're getting with the concrete stairs and the wool stairs. I think there's so much to play with, and hay beds is such a unique idea. I love everything that's being brought into the game now. I'm very excited to be building with it. It is a very creative game, and this just gives us more to play with, really, so it's pretty great. As you can see, even with the mini cow in the corner and the text in the top right hand corner as supporting details, it still seems pretty empty. So what I like to do here is I like to add plain coloured backgrounds, either in squares, circles, blotches. In this case, we're doing some little cow print shaped blotches in the background. We have some purpley pink blotches in the bottom left corner, and it transitions from yellowy to green. So we've got some blotches of colour in the background to bring it all together. I really wish that I'd added small little penciled in flowers as well, because that just would have been so beautiful. But it's done now. I could always go back and do it, but it's not going to be posted on my social medias, not probably until I do a sketchbook tour next year. So to sum everything up, we have 1 to 2 main subjects, 1 to 2 supporting subjects, and these are usually smaller versions of the main subjects, objects related to them, or writing in some way, so quotes, names, etc. And then backgrounds with flat palettes and shapes, so flat coloured backgrounds and flat coloured shapes in the background to support and bring forward whatever drawings you've got. This layout is something I use in all of my sketchbook illustrations. It's personally really satisfying for me to use, even when I'm just doing sketches with pencil and some flat colours quickly. I find that having big subjects and then little subjects all working together really pulls me in. Personally, having the big subjects and then the little subjects, having a lot going on a sketchbook page, to me personally is what I like. I like using lots of colours, lots of shapes, and to have a sketchbook page that you can look at and have lots of little details to enjoy is something that I enjoy making, and I enjoy sharing with you guys too. So I hope this helped if you're interested in making pages like this one. 1 to 2 main subjects and lots of little ones. But the rest of the design is completely up to you. What you add on the page, what you add to the page, what you even want to draw, it's completely up to you. Even the colours, sketches, how you want to make it, it's completely up to you. You can make it in black and white, you can make it in ink, you can make it in prints, however you so fancy, you can do it whichever way you please. This formula, I believe, works for everything. I'd like to draw some more Minecraft mobs in their blockier forms. I just thought realistic would be super cute, and I'm very glad I did it. But please do tell me your favourite Minecraft mob, because I might be creating some sketchbook pages around them. Let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like me to elaborate on anything in the comments below. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much. Bye guys.